Hello, this is Anice from Funky Hand, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make this mini clipboard. It's very straightforward and very easy to do, so I'll just show you the things that you'll actually need to be able to make it. So first of all, you obviously need some chipboard. Now this chipboard is actually quite slim. It's only probably about 2 or 3 millimeters thick, but you can get lots of different sorts of chipboard, and if you'd like something a little firmer, then obviously use that. You also need a piece of backing paper. Now this paper is from my one of my latest Christmas downloads, the Trad Old Christmas collection. I've only printed it onto relatively slim paper, probably about 100 GSM. Okay, you'll also need a Pritt stick or some sort of adhesive in the same style, and I'll explain a little later on once you'll understand why you need that. You'll also need some scissors, and you'll also need a craft knife, and then one of the important things, and you'll be thinking what the heck, is a file. Now this file is from a collection of precision file set that I got from Basic Grey a million years ago, so I'm not sure whether it's still available, but as you can see this is pretty well used, and you could just use a nail file. If you've got one of those cheap nail files, it'll do exactly the same job. And finally I've got my trusty dried up old black ink pad, and we'll talk about that further. Right, so let's get started. We'll move the things we don't need out of the way first of all. Okay, so first of all, what we need is to get hold of the chipboard, and we're going to stick the glue onto the chipboard, not onto the paper. Okay, now what you need to do is you need to make sure that you glue right to the very edge of your chipboard, and the reason for that is obviously because we are going to cover this chipboard, but we want the paper to stick right to the edges, so you can understand why we need an adhesive like that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the paper onto the chipboard. Now, as this is just a technique presentation, I'm going to be doing this quite quickly, but what I'd suggest is when you stick the paper on, that you leave it for a little while so it can adhere very nicely to the chipboard. But we're going to just do this quite quickly, so forgive me if it peels off. Now, if we turn it over, what I suggest you do to make life a little easier is to cut the paper a bit closer. Now I've used this whole sheet of paper because I'm just doing this demonstration. You could use any paper and obviously stick it a bit closer to the edge, etc. So you can use your paper much more carefully. I'll just cut this a little closer just to make things a little easier for the next stage. Make sure that's stuck down. I'll just cut that a little closer. Okay, I'll just clear this paper off. Okay, so now we've got it cut a little bit closer. This is when we get the paper cut really close. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut, using my cutting knife, using the edge of the clipboard, the chipboard should I say, we're going to just cut really closely. Okay, so there we are with our paper cut right to the edges. Now you can understand why we need to use the Pritt stick to make sure that it sticks down. Obviously, as I said before, we'd leave it for a little longer so this isn't as stuck down as I would like, but I'm just going to show you the technique, and then you can obviously do it an awful lot better than me. Okay, now the paper's cut right to the edge. This is when we need to get our file out. Now, for this technique, what we need to do is you need to have your file, you need to hold it at 45 degrees, and then you need to just file down, always down. Don't do it up. As you can imagine, if you do that, then you're going to push the paper up. You need to file down. Now, when you first do this, if you feel the part that hasn't been filed, you'll be able to feel the edge of the paper. If you feel where you've actually filed, it'll be smooth against the chipboard. So that's what you need to do to get your filed edge. And it's very simple. It's a very simple technique, but it's really, really effective. Now, I'm not going to sit here and bore you doing this all the way around. What I'll do is I'll show you what it looks like on the finished item. Okay, so this is the finished edges. You can't feel this, but once you've got them all done, you'll be able to feel. What I also did was I did exactly the same thing on the back of the chipboard as well. So you work in exactly the same way, 45 degrees, filing all the way around the edge. Once everything is all done, what I did then is get my dried up, trusty dried up ink pad and just inked around the edges, because it then covers the chipboard and all the filing that you've done. Chipboard and all the filing that you've done. But you don't have to do that, and also it doesn't have to be a black ink pad. It really depends on what papers you've decided to use. On this particular one, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to see it on the camera, I actually put some glitter on it to make it more Christmassy. But and then what I did was I used just a simple kitchen clip, really, that's all it is, and I stuck a snowflake on it using a double-sided foam pad. And then there you go, there's your very simple clipboard. For this particular one that I'm showing you, it's a Dear Father Christmas list for your children, and it just can clip under there. Now on this it says, Dear Father Christmas, these are the things I would like for Christmas, and an opportunity for them to sign it at the bottom. Now I put Father Christmas because that's what I always use as a child, but it could be Dear Santa as well. And this item, I've created one with Dear Santa, one with Dear Father Christmas for you to cut out, and it's a free download which you'll be able to find on our website, funkyhand.com, so you can grab that if you want to. So there you go, there's the simple mini chipboard. You can make it a Christmas version for your children, but this is so simple. You could make it for yourself with for shopping lists, etc. And there's enough room if your list is smaller. You can decorate it. You can put roses on it. You could put whatever you like. It really is a simple thing. You know, once you've created the basis, you can do whatever you like with it. Have fun.